What's up, listeners? You know that feeling at the end of the day when you want to relax, talk to your friends, and share the latest tea? These are the conversations that are usually limited to your private group chat, but we're inviting you to share the fun with us. Get ready for raw, unfiltered, laugh out loud conversations among friends. So take your bra off, get comfy, and let's jump into our show.
I'm excited. First of all, hello. Hey. You guys look amazing. I think we've all leveled up today because it's our first time filming in our brand new studio home. So shout out to Vegas Content Studio.
Hey.
Yeah, they really hooked us up. And I'm looking at the different hair. Like Theo never does her hair curly.
Mm-hmm. I know. We love
so
the
I'm
curly.
excited.
Trying to embrace the natural.
Yeah.
I love that's your natural curl. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I know. It's nice.
It's beautiful.
I've been, Theo also hooked me up.
Theo.
Little trim.
Thanks, girls.
I'm like, what? Free hair? Free hair styles.
Tia, and every time Tia always mixes it up with a different style.
Yeah.
So I'm loving the straight, flowy, 90s R&B kind of thing going on.
Oh,
it's lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so curious. Yeah. How much have you guys paid for hair? Like, what's the most amount you've paid for hair?
It's a lot. It's embarrassingly bad.
It's probably not that bad. What is it?
I mean, for actual hair.
A hair service. The total
cost.
thing.
I mean, because if you get, with extensions, I mean, it could be quite costly. I know that I got scammed when I first moved out here, and I cash apped a girl $500 and she disappeared. It's not even funny, but she disappeared, and I messaged her and everything, and I was like, can I have my money back? And she's like, sure, I can. And I never got it back.
See, next time it's got to be same time, man. Same time.
I know. I was very trusted. Oh, I met her. I went to her. So I trusted her, and then she ran off with my money. So I would say $500-600.
Okay, $500-600. What about you, Fiorella?
$1,500.
Woo, girl, what'd you get done?
Extensions. I when I got divorced from my first husband, I went panic mode and just chopped my hair into a pixie, and I was like, I look like my fucking mother. So I literally, once I had a little bit of length.
Veronica, it's okay. She doesn't mean that.
I love you, Mom, but still, that haircut isn't for me, especially my 20s. But no, I got extensions, and because my hair was so short, it was short. Okay. So I needed so many to blend the bob into the extensions, and it was a lot of hair.
But did it look good, though?
Oh, it was great. It was great. And it was funny because my roommate at the time, I had a gay roommate. I love him. Wesley, I miss you. And he used to laugh because when I would take my extensions out, he would be like, oh, she's going through post-traumatic weave removal disorder. And I was crying. I was like, my hair is gone.
I love it that we all have trauma stories, because I was going to say the most I've spent is about $550, but there's a reason why. So when I was moving to Las Vegas a couple years ago, I had this idea. I'm like, I'm moving from Michigan to Las Vegas. I'm starting my new life. And I wanted to walk in and look the way I wanted to look as this new Vegas person with this brand new life. And so I decided to get my hair done literally the day I left, which do not recommend. So first, I would like to say, if the stylist is watching, she did a great job. She was very skilled. I decided to do something really different that I hadn't done before. So for the non-Black folks out there, I got crochet, which meant my hair was braided underneath, kind of like Pookie on Parole style. And then my crochet was literally crocheted in there. It was tight. She did a really good job putting it in tight. I had so much hair in my head, I looked like a hot mess. So I'm like, oh, man. But I still had to load up my dogs, load my crap, and start driving. And it's a 3.5-day drive. So I drove, and I looked at myself. So full day of driving, get to the hotel the first night. And I was looking in the rear view mirror, sitting in my car yeah, I can't do this. This is not how I'm starting my new Las Vegas life. But keep in mind, I was exhausted. So I'm taking it out. And, there's some back pieces, and they're really tight in there. So, of course, I got out the scissors. Do not do this at home. Never use scissors taking out your weave, crochet, whatever. But I did not heed that warning. I took it out. And so I was left with Pookie on Parole braids and a giant chunk of hair missing. So as soon as I rolled into Vegas, I just had to find someone immediately, and ended up paying $550 for the style. But at least when she saw the chunk, she's like, yeah, we're just gonna have to let that grow out. So I had a protective style, and that was my 550.
What was the style? I'm just curious.
It was like, what do you call them? The boho locks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
but she did the whole thing, wash, blow dry, because some people don't wash your hair anymore. I never understood that. Like, wash my hair. I'm paying you. So she washed, blow dried, conditioning treatment. Then she did the style with the extension, all of that stuff. So it was a lot. So I don't. I don't normally like to pay that much for hair, but we were in a 911 situation.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when your hair is not done or looking right, you just don't feel yet like you're at your best, right? Like, so it's important for sometimes for your mental well-being, to have your hair like how you want it to look. So I understand.
Yeah.
1,000%. I always say that hair is like a frame. Like the Mona Lisa, if it was in like a janky Target frame, it wouldn't look as nice. So it's what you look at every day, like in your face. So if it ain't framing you right, it's not it.
And I think there's a lot of cultural significance for hair, right? Absolutely. I mean, I know when I grew up in a Black household, and we think about like our African ancestors, we don't know any of them, but we see in the picture. Stop! Don't look at me like that, Tia.
We don't know any of them. Crazy.
My ancestors from St. Louis. But you look at we were always told like hair was important. That's your crown. Yeah. That's there's a regalness about it. So a lot of us spend a lot of time and money just making sure our hair is right. And when it's not right, you're right. We don't feel great, and it's not. I'd love to. It's not because it's not because someone else thinks I look bad. It's because I feel like I'm a hot ass mess.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of significance to hair. It's not only a beauty thing, but it's a confidence thing. It's a cultural thing. Yeah. I mean, if you think about folks who get locks done and when they get locks cut out or they take them out, they talk about all the emotion that came out of the hair too. So I think hair is important.
Yeah, totally.
1,000%.
Totally. And it's like, it's so interesting to me where they say like when women are going through a mental crisis, they chop all their hair off. Like remember in like the Britney Spears, and then you think of like Tamar Braxton, and like you think of all these stars who, Sweetie, right? Like they've all at some point crashed out and cut all their hair off and did a media interview like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But is it? Like, I don't know if that's why that's so significant or why that's the sign that you hit your limit.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's funny because like even when I got divorced and I got my hair off, like I knew I did it because out of impulse because my ex-husband loved long hair. And I was like, fuck this, I'm cutting it all off. And then whenever I would have clients come into the salon and they wanted a major change, like if they wanted more than like 6 inches off, I'm like, you good? Like, you're right. And literally I had one lady, she had like waist length hair and she wanted a bob. I'm like, I'm gonna do a trim, and if you come back within 2 weeks and you still want it, I will cut your hair for free. She never came back, and she always says till this day, she's like, you saved my life. I'm like, you're welcome.
See, that's
well
good.
We're talking about all this hair stuff, and I forgot to mention, I think you guys should introduce your hair skills, because we've got 2 people in the hair industry and me who has hair on their head. That's my level of expertise. But Tia, Fiorella, so I'll start with Fio. Talk about your background.
So ironically, before I did hair, I was in banking, and when the recession was happening, I had a coworker at the time that was like, oh my God, you always look good, your hair and makeup's always done, come to hair school with me. And I'm like, that's random, but let me try it. And I went and I loved it. And so I have been doing hair for 20 years. Now I focus on bridal. And I'm tapping into the textured hair girl world.
So Fiorella always is very humble about her hair accomplishments. I'm going to brag on my girl a little bit because, yes, she's been doing hair for 20 years, but she's also been twice featured as a top 100 stylist in the
Modern Salon.
I'm sorry, Modern Salon, which we've all seen Modern Salon in the Salon, the magazine. And she had a thriving business down in South Florida, and now that she's in Vegas, she's reinvigorating that bridal business here. So everyone like down in Miami knows who this person is. They're like, I'm getting married, and you were saying you were booked out like a year or 6 months in advance.
Oh yeah. Brides booked us out like a year to 18 months.
So let's we're bragging on ourselves today.
Thanks, girl.
We're not downplaying anything.
Right,
This is
right.
2025.
Let's go,
Okay.
girl.
We are doing our thing. And Tia.
I am definitely not. I'm not a hairstylist per se. I feel like my journey with hair has been through trial and error, just over the years, and just being curious and wanting to learn more. And I partnered with Kim Porter. She has a salon, Who's Next Beauty Bar, here in Las Vegas. She's been a stylist for 25 years here in Fios Matter, and she's just awesome. And we partnered just to kind of cultivate a different hair buying experience for women who are looking for wigs and hair extensions, because I know in, the Black and brown communities, when we go to a beauty supply or to try to buy hair, it is usually a very shockingly bad experience.
You're being so nice.
I mean,
She's being PC, guys.
it's almost just like you dread it, right? And and you're spending a lot of money, and you're going into these spaces where you're not feeling very welcomed. A lot of times you got to leave your bag at the front. No one wants to help you. Like you have a hard time, like I did. I just bought the cheapest hair because I didn't have any money. So I just was like, this is what I could afford.
Right.
And I remember the very first time I put a wig on, or I think it was a clip-on extension, and I tried to press it, and that shit disintegrated, right? And I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm like, what is that? And I'm reading the packet. It doesn't say much of anything, right? It's just like, oh yeah, it takes heat. Oh yeah, you can get in the water. Like,
Girl.
bitch, you better not. You better not. And I learned the hard way, because I literally had to salvage my hair, and like, much like you, I'm on my way somewhere, right? I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put a little curl. Like, I'm talking about poof, it was gone. Okay. And so it's like, something is really wrong with this. So, and again, I had situation after situation like that, experimenting with different types of hair. And so there wasn't anybody back in the day, because this is how old I am, we didn't really have like influencers, right? Like, I wasn't following anyone that could give me advice, or, I had someone that I went to every now and again to get my hair pressed, but I felt like I was alone and on my own, right? And so Kim and I decided to sell, 100% human hair extensions. We sell it in her salon, so you can come to the shop, or you can buy it online. And, it's not this quick, we really want to help you find what you need. And, Kim's like, well, what are your hair goals? Like, what do you want to look like? Like, send me a picture, so she's very caring. And it's like, there's people who really, really love the hair, right? Like, and she's one of those people, and she has those hands where your hair just like feels like, I always tell people I didn't have any hair before I came to Las Vegas. And then Kim brought my hair back to life. She really, truly did. So, it's called Vegas Ready Hair, and it's a labor of love, and we're hoping to just grow and continue to expand. So thank you for letting me talk about it. But I suppose I'm an expert just in regards to, over the last 20 years, sampling and asking questions and things like that. But Kim is the one who you would go to for like health and like the actual act of doing the service and all of that. So
yeah, but we all have our different experiences, and I have zero credentials. I have zero hair business, but I've spent a whole lot of money on hair over the years, and I'm older than both of y'all, so I can probably spend a little bit more. Well, maybe not Fiorella.
got money.
But what my thing is, I was challenged with, because I grew up in a predominantly white community, like Metro Detroit. So hey, Detroiters, what up though? Anyway, but you had to like drive into the city to get your hair done, because I'm black.
Yeah.
I had textured hair. I have like 4C coily kinky like afro hair, and I can't walk into a Great Clips and be like, hey, can I get a trim? Can I get a cut? And so I was always curious. I mean, it was always frustrating that, everyone's walking around with hair on their head, but not everyone has the same access or opportunity to get a good style. You just can't do that these days. So, like one of the things I wanted to explore was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the helly?
Yeah.
What the heliante? Right?
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems frustrating to me in this day and age in 2025 that we do not have equity or parity around hair services because I don't know if everybody realizes that. So if you are someone who doesn't have textured hair, you could literally go into any salon and like walk-ins welcome. You can walk in and sit down. I've gone to places where like, I'm sorry, we can't do your hair. Or here's my favorite. These scalp places, we've all seen these scalp spas come up. Oh my gosh. And that just feels like the most luxurious thing ever. I mean, how many of us want to actually go and let someone play in our head and just sit there and get massaged all day? I know I do.
Yeah.
But the first place that I called or contacted was like, I'm like, hey, and I had to ask, like, well, can you blow dry my hair after it's done? And they're like, well, we're so sorry. We can't do your hair. We can't offer that service to you. And so that just got me thinking, what the heck is happening in the hair industry where, a good majority or a good portion of our community can't have access to the same type of hair services?
So it's crazy because we shared that TikTok. So my sister sent me this TikTok about this girl who opened a salon in Detroit. I think it was.
Of course, it was Detroit.
And she was a white girl, and she was pretty much saying, like, at the time, she's like, Barack Obama was president, but a black girl and a white girl can't go to a salon and get their hair done together. She's like, so she created, it was almost like a blow dry bar, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she created it, but it had to close because of COVID. And I sent it to Jennifer because like, this is amazing. I love this. But then I read the comments, and that killed me because the idea, to be honest, the beauty school curriculum is 1,000% systemic. And the thing is when you go into beauty school or hair school, you don't go in with the idea of any of that. You go in like, I'm going to learn how to do hair. That's all you have in your head. You don't think about the politics behind it. So, it took me this long for me to realize, like, I was telling you guys when I first met you, like, I'm tired of saying no to brides. And not that I want to say no to brides because I don't want to do their hair. I say no because, like, this is the most important day of your life, and I'm not trying to practice on your most important day of your life.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So when I went back to the comments and I saw the comments that were being said about from the people of color, they were saying that, and if it's 2025, if you haven't learned this, it's because you're racist. And it's like, no, it's not. And I think that I love that we're having this conversation right now because I'm excited to share. Like, I didn't purposely not learn how to do this because I didn't want to. When I went to hair school, it wasn't given to me. I think we had a day or two of learning how to do a relaxer. And that was it. And on a mannequin. It wasn't like on a person. And when people came to the hair school to get their hair done, the reality was we didn't have a lot of black women coming to the salon to get their hair done at a hair school because they knew their hair was going to get messed up. So, for me, I think it's just, if you are aware that you can't do it and you want to learn, then you have to use your resources. And, when you have a good friend that has a nice head of 4C curly hair, let you practice, you have that opportunity. But I think that, even when I met Kim, she was saying, she literally said, like, honestly, hair. She's like, what hair is, what products you have to use for certain types and heat protectants and shampoos for moisture. So she's like, you just got to get your hands into it. And I'm like, and once she said it, I'm like, fuck, she's right. I just got to do it. So I think the reality is too, is like having the confidence, the person that's confident to trust you to do it and start there. We all do have a place to start, but I think that, like you were saying, I think salons should have the opportunity to realize, like, we have to be more inclusive and understand that not only are we training you how to do this, but we also have to train you how to, if we have a beautiful black woman like yourselves come in, we don't want to say, like, we can't do this.
And even the ugly ones, they deserve good hair too.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you something.
That's not us, though.
My mom has this quote, and I will go with it until the day I die. She always says, there's no such thing as an ugly woman. It's just an ugly woman, or just a woman who doesn't know how to take care of herself.
Oh, see, that's sweet.
So
I'm being all mean girl over here. And Fiorella comes in with a great mom quote.
Well, that's why when I look at someone, I'm like, you just need your hair and makeup done. You're fine.
That is so sweet. Yeah, you need some money, right? You need money.
Listen, when we have like those homely days, we look like trolls.
Yeah.
But then when we come to podcast studios, we look cute. So.
Ugly days are so important.
Yes.
I call them ugly days. They're important. It's like my day to be ugly and be in peace.
Yes.
Like, leave me alone. You know, like it's so important for my mental well-being. And then, of course, if you don't leave your house on ugly day.
No.
But if you leave your house on ugly day, it's at your own risk because you're going to run into people. Right.
Every time.
100%.
Every single time. And
it's going to be the people that you absolutely would want to run into and impress them in some sort of way. An old boss, an ex, that
Murphy's
person you
Law.
actually hate down the street, and you're like, oh, hi.
yeah, out of the woodwork. And one time they were like, Tia, and I was like, no,
That's not me.
Tia. I just was like, no, I'm not Tia today.
So you were so happy when Uber Eats became a thing?
Oh, that was the best invention ever.
Yes.
DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Oh my goodness.
But they don't sponsor us, so we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
I was curious, though, Tia, like, okay, would you, because, you know, Fiorella's talking about learning and stuff like that. Have you ever gone to a salon with non-Black people in there? And would you, I mean, what are your feelings when if you were in a situation where you had to go into a place?
Mm-hmm. So I did a blowout at a Dominican salon before, and I think they call it Dominican blowout, which is similar to like a blow dry bar. And they put like the curlers, and it was a lot of heat. A lot of heat for a long time. And I was sitting there, and it was just such an interesting adversity, I guess, for me, just because they kind of looked like me, but everybody was speaking Spanish, and the music and food and all of the same, you know, characteristics of what I was used to in a Black salon, only it was just in a different language. And I didn't feel... I can't say that I felt unwelcomed, but I will say that I felt, there was a bit of a disconnect just because I wasn't able to participate in the conversations. And for me, I'm so social that when I was there, I was just very eager to, you know, meet people and talk to people. And I mean, I'm there, you're there for hours, right? Like I'm just sitting there for hours, and someone like me, I'm just like anybody, somebody talk to me, you know, because I'm just high energy like that. And so it was interesting because I went twice, and my hair turned out great. It was a little bit more fuller than I was used to because I didn't use a flat iron.
Okay.
But the way my hair felt, I mean, it felt healthy. It smelled good. I mean, and I looked like, you know, that it's old school, but like that Farrah Fawcett look. So I appreciated it. And I moved, and I remember they started emailing me like, Tia, are you going to come back? Did we do something wrong? And I was like, what? And I couldn't even believe that they took the time to email me and check up on me. And I was like, oh, this is great. You know, if I ever get back to LA, I will definitely come visit your salon again. But I do, just to your point when you were like, I've been turned away. You know, I did a blow dry bar in, I think it was Brentwood, California, in LA, SoCal, because I know there's two different Brentwoods. And I went to a blow dry bar, and it was all white. And I didn't get turned away. I don't believe that my hair came out the best it's ever looked, but I was a little desperate. I don't know if I had something going on, and I just hope for the best. And it was okay. Yeah. It was okay. Very different experience. The conversations I'm overhearing were completely different. I was starving. Nobody with a food cart came around.
I was going to say, there are some real differences in what we would call now, like, okay, don't at me everybody, but there's some like Black salons and some non-Black salons, Dominican salons, African braiding places that are very different. Yeah. I'm like, for those who are not used to hearing about said differences, I think last time we talked about this, Tia, you started talking about with the food cart. So what is your like down home Black folk salon experience?
What? So this is how old I am. That's like the only way I saw new movies, because I would get the DVDs from the salons. Like I would, and a couple times I would go up there. I wasn't even getting my hair done. I was just waiting for the DVD guy because I wanted to see some movies, and he was selling them. And I mean, and it was so bad. I mean, you could see people's heads. Oh, yeah. And like they would stand up like, watch this part. This is the good part. It was really, really bad. But it was so just affordable for me. And I'm a movie buff. And so that's how I would hear the latest songs. And like some people would come around with soul food. Like there's always that one family in the neighborhood that's been cooking for years, and they'll come and they have a trunk full of plates, right? So I would eat my lunch or eat my dinner there, and it'd always be phenomenal. Like it would be like restaurant quality food because it's home cooked meals. So, and then of course there's the salon talk. You're talking about the pop culture and events, and you're talking about what's going on in the entertainment and sports and politics. And so it was always good to talk shop and just have that space where you could just be yourself and say what you really want to say, but you don't always have the space to say it. At work, you can't say it. Maybe you're not at home able to say it. So you get into the salon and you're like, what is wrong with it? Like people will walk through the door ready to just go off about what's going on. And I think that it's just so important for us to be able to express ourselves in that way. And I don't know that it's cultural. Yes. So that means that it will take some time to be able to trust people outside of that culture, right? Because I don't think people understand how important it is, and the experience, just even being a young girl to an adult, of being in a black hair salon or a barbershop. It's just it's a lifestyle. It's a community in and of itself.
It's very different.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I would not go to someone who isn't black, to get my hair done. It's just that for me, it wasn't even getting my hair done. It was the whole experience, right?
The culture.
Yeah.
I love that. What were your like growing up, going to the salon, or did you go to a salon growing up?
Yeah, but so me going to a salon growing up, what I can remember, it's almost kind of like we had a Great Clips almost behind where we lived, and I would just go and be like, just give me a trim, and they would just cut my hair and I would walk home. So it wasn't anything. It really wasn't. There wasn't anything behind, a salon experience for me. When I did have my studio, though, I think about like what you were saying, like people coming in and letting loose and just chopping it up. When I had my studio, because I only served one person at a time before I had a double suite, it was nice because that's exactly what, I was with the person one-on-one the entire time. So they would just let it all out. They'd be crying. They'd be mad. They'd be calling the cops. They'd be doing all the things that they couldn't do when they were at work. And it's funny because I even thought about it, like, this is heavy.
Yeah.
This is some heavy shit to do alone.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see that they were, like, when they left, they, like, felt like, it was more, like you said, more than experience. It was like a
Therapy.
Like a breath of fresh air that they needed. So it was nice to be able to provide that.
Yeah, I grew up going to black salons too, and there are parts that like when you're talking about it, Tia, I can totally relate to. But the dark side of this that experience was that I remember it was more of a service thing, and I'm not going to say it's all black salons because first it's not, but the ones that I was going, there was a lot of like waiting. I do not do late. I just don't. And then as I think I told you this story. So when I was bodybuilding back in the day, I have competitions. I would get a lot of extensions, all that stuff, get stage ready. And there was back in Michigan, there was a stylist. She was, oh my gosh, so good, so talented, so amazing, had her own salon. And I really liked her work. I did not like everything else. I would go into that place. The nail tech had a ankle monitor on. Somebody smelled like weed coming through. And then, they would have the booking system, like a style seat or something like that. And I would use the booking system and come in. And then they would be like, well, why are you here? You don't have an appointment? I'm like, but I made it on your app. Oh, we don't use that anymore. And so I'm like, but I need someone to do my hair because I got to be in New Jersey tomorrow. Like, what's going on? And then her husband would come and they would argue. Like, I'd be in the chair. He'd literally be standing right here and talking to her. And they're arguing about their, 7 kids. And I'm not exaggerating. I think she had like 8 kids. I'm not even like.
I believe it.
And I'm like, oh,
Bless her.
the salon experience I want is one that's like, take care of me. I want to be relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm paying a lot of money. Let me enjoy this time away from my kid, my, craziness, my job, and just let someone like do nice things in my hair. She did a fantastic job, super skilled. I think she does a lot of like celebrity clients, stuff like that. But man, I couldn't do the all the other stuff. So part of me, especially as I've gotten older, it's like I really want an experience that's just like I want to come in and relax. So now it's like having someone come in. Now I'm old too. DVDs, that they don't do that anymore. With the DVD players or the food or the whatever, to me is not relaxing. So I want, quiet or a one-on-one experience, or yes, we're talking, or if I don't feel like talking, I don't have to talk, or it smells good, and we do a luxurious shampoo and you're like massaging my scalp. That's what I want. I would pay for that. It's almost like when I get a pedicure, I could care less about the nail polish. I want someone to rub my feet. I want someone to make me feel good. So I think there's this piece about service that's disparate across different salons and regardless of culture. And I want to hear about your fun service stories, because we all have the one. Like for me, when the lady was having a full out fight with her husband in front of me, and then he kept asking me like, "What do you think?" I'm like, I think I'm trying to get my hair done, bruh. I don't know you. Like, I'm not getting this. I'm like, I don't know. You're going to shake me if I say the wrong answer? Like, what's going on? But no, what are some of your fun service experiences? Everybody's got a story.
So personally, getting my hair done. So have you guys seen like there's like the money piece where like there's like the lighter blonde piece in the front that girls
The
get.
money piece. They call it a money piece, but it's like
It's like a lighter like blonde piece that they put in the front. So like, for instance, like
it's
it's just like a blonde.
it's like
a little-
extension?
No. It's literally they'll just bleach like a little bit right
It's
here.
just like a highlight blonde.
Why do they call it a money piece?
I don't know.
It's like what the kids are calling
Yeah,
it.
that's what the kids are calling it.
Oh, okay.
So back in the day when I was a little girl, they were actually ironically around, like the money pieces. So my brother's girlfriend at the time, she had it, and I was excited, so I wanted to get it. And when I went to the salon to get it, she didn't make a little strip. It was like literally half of my head. It was literally like half of it. And my mother, I love you, but my mom, she said, I paid for this. You're keeping it like that.
Oh, my gosh.
And my brother, for like at least a year or two, was calling me pee-pee stains on my head.
So you were like quintessential Jersey girl with a big chunky.
Oh, it was half blonde, half dark, but it wasn't even like half and half. It was half. And the rest was dark. It was bad. It was bad.
Who did that to you? Who hurt you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But then even being a service provider, I had this one lady that she had a traumatizing haircutting experience that whenever I cut her hair, she literally would say, remember, only half an inch. And she would make me show her every piece I cut. And she would measure it.
Oh.
I couldn't.
With a ruler?
With a ruler. Every time. And I mean, I dreaded it, but the salon I worked at, we charged a lot. So I'm like, I think she's paying it. So it is what it is. So
Here.
Yeah, I would have snatched that ruler. Get out of here.
And that's why Tia doesn't do hair.
Bless
your ass
y'all.
outta here.
No, bless y'all, for real. Yes, like I can't. I don't have the temperament for that. I will say that the longest I ever waited in a hair salon was over 6 hours, and I was sitting there, and I didn't leave because I had left before and got further down in the line. So I just sat there, and I remember one time there was like kids running around, and one of the kids just climbed into my lap and handed me a book.
Oh, wow.
And then I just started reading the book to the kid because I didn't have anything else to do. And so, and it was, and the parent was just getting their hair done, and, and she looked like she just needed to just have a break.
Right.
So, and that's what I did. And
Solidarity.
Yeah. So, and even to your point about being older and kind of being in your like soft life, era. And it's interesting because I feel like us, like Black and brown women, sometimes we don't even know that we're deserving of that within a service space, right? And I know that it took me a while to even like muster up the courage to correct people that are giving me a service when it was wrong. Like I remember even getting my nails done like the very first time. it was not at all what I asked for. But I didn't correct her because I was just like, oh, she's just doing the best that she can. Or, I'm just like, I don't want to correct her because, just tiptoeing around it. And it took me a while to just not be in that chair accepting whatever it is they dish out. Right. Because, and as I got older and you get into corporate and then you get into all these things. And when you get to the salon, you want to breathe. Like it might have been the first time I could breathe all day. Right. Like the first time I could just close my eyes, I don't want to hear a whole bunch of people yelling and talking, who wants this catfish plate $5? Like, like maybe and in hindsight, like looking back, that was a moment that should have been so peaceful, but it wasn't. And I found kind of like peace within the chaos and decided like, oh, well, this is just what this is, right? This is just what comes with me getting a service, right? It's not supposed to be a soft thing. It's supposed to be, your guard is up a little bit. Like, it's my turn. I've been waiting here 3 hours. Like, sometimes, it's like a little bit of a, okay, how many more heads do you have? It's, I'm in there, like, okay, count. So what time do you want me to come back? Okay. Like, it's a whole negotiation. Sometimes it's like a very stressful time. And I love that you pointed that out. And it just, cause I was thinking about it, as much money as we spend, how come we don't feel like it should be soft and peaceful and luxurious. And, how come when I walk in there, I'm like, all right, y'all, like, ready to gangster, like, right? It shouldn't be like that. And so just, I think it speaks volumes, even just being a therapy session, what you said, Fio, and it takes a certain type of individual to be able to hold that space for people. So I really commend you for that because, like I said, I'm certifiable. Like I can't, I'm not that, But I love that you're like, you can cry, you can, let it out, you can tell me, vent to me, and you hold that for them, and that takes a lot of emotion out of you as well. So, there's just so much more. It's so much more than just a hair salon or a service for us women, right? I it's a lot to think about, and it's hard to put it into words because it can be a very emotional thing, and a sensitive thing, and I know, like for example, a lot of salons you can't bring your kids. And you were saying, oh, she had 8 kids and they're arguing it. And it's like, well, like, this is like you don't have to go to a hair salon, right? Like, that's like a...
Shut your mouth.
Yes, you don't... I'm just saying, like, that is something that not everybody is able to get into a hair salon or afford a hair salon, right. And so if you'd have children and there's no daycare, there's a lot to be said about who is able to even get to a hair salon, right? Like there's and then you get there and you're fighting for your life, like so I love this question because I don't even think we even question it.
I think that's such an interesting point, and I was almost tearing up as you were talking about sometimes not even feeling like we're allowed to speak up, because that talks more about our experience as women and as, and Black and brown women and any woman, frankly. It's hard. It's hard out there these days. And we need those spaces where we can come and enjoy and relax. And a lot of times, I was thinking about it as you were talking, salons have been those places. Even when there was catfish and DVDs, it was still like an experience. Oh, yeah. And it gave you something. Yeah. And, I feel like maybe we don't think about that enough. And as women really thinking about the whole question of what is it that we deserve, I think we take a lot of crap. And we're used to taking a lot of crap. So I'm challenging everybody listening to this podcast, not just about hair, but like in your life, are there places where you can express yourself, stand up for yourself, and recognize that you are totally worth whatever it is that you're doing, getting whatever. You're worth it. So advocate for yourself. And don't go to spaces that don't love on you.
Nope.
That was my thing. That's the one thing I learned as I started spending more money. I'm like, I pay you. And I think the same thing about healthcare stuff too. That's a whole other episode. But like, if I pay you, my insurance pays you, you work for me. You're part of my team. So when I go in and have an experience, and if it's not 100% what I need it to be, and I'm not mean, I'm not one of those evil Karens out there like, meh, meh, meh. But I'll say like, hey, I would like this a little bit different. Or if they say this, oh, no, thank you, I would prefer this. But I'm like, I work too hard.
Yeah.
I work too hard to have anything but the best. And once I started adopting that mentality, not only for my hair or other beauty services, but for people, for men, I'm a lot happier, a lot cuter. My skin's clear. Like a lot of those things, a lot of the stress goes away. But
I will say to any woman out there, if you are getting a service done and you don't like it, this is actually the time you're allowed to be a Karen. You have to speak up, because I even tell brides when I do a trial with a bride, I say, today, right now is the day you have to be a Karen with me. This is the day you need to be your pickiest, because if there's something you don't like, I need to know now so that when it's your wedding day, I know what I have to adjust.
100%.
And even with when it comes to haircuts or color, whatever it is, the style, like if you don't like it, like you said, like think about how much time you had to work and what effort you had to do to make that money to be able to cough it up to give it to the person who's giving you the service, and then to feel like you're shut down, that you can't say like, no, I'm sorry. Like as a service provider, like no, I want. Don't be a mean Karen, but just tell me what you don't want. If you don't like it, say something, because you're working too hard to pay the money to get the service that you don't want.
Yeah.
This has been such, I don't know, like I've been laughing, I've been crying. Like I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, we're in a podcast studio now, so I don't have a tissue and it's my eye wants or whatever.
Usually we're
But
like, cut.
I know we're like,
We'll take a break.
that's why it was janky. We were the DVDs and the chicken plate, and now we're leveling up to the main salon.
I'm trying to sit in here like, oh,
We are so not fancy people. We play fancy on TV. No, but I was just, there's so much from this conversation. So if you were taking away like one thing, or if you want other people to think about one thing when it comes to their hair, what do you think, what are some of the things that are sticking with you?
To my hair personally, there's actually nothing there because I take care of my own, but I really think that the world that we're in, it is a melting pot. And for you to stay in one lane, and listen, I will say there are stylists out there that are niched in like certain colors and certain hair cutting styles, whatever. And there are curly specialists now, which is great. I just think that it has to be open more. There has to be a possibility for you to go to any. You should be able to go to a head spa and get a blow dry.
I think so.
You should be able to go to a head spa and experience that and feel that relaxation that you deserve. So that's my 2 P's.
I love it.
I love that too, Theo. And it's so funny because when you were talking about the head spa, that little video they have with the
thing
that's-
and you're laying down. And if I close my eyes, I literally I can
You
picture
feel it exactly.
feel it like on my scalp. And so it's so frustrating that that's not a space for me.
I know.
It's not. It's
And I should say, I would like to say there are some head spas in town who
Sure.
do cater to all hair types. So I do want to especially make sure I make that known. So
yeah. And I mean, for example, Kim does my hair, and Kim is a phenomenal at everything. But like the wash is my favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
The wash is like, I think my leg is like, like the wash is like, oh my gosh, amazing. But we're going to the hair salons predominantly because this is how we want to show up in the world, right? So for me, I was in corporate America. If I am to interview for a corporate job, do I feel like I can wear my natural curly afro? No, I don't. And that's the problem right there, right? And so because that's just the world that we live in, this is something that we have to do, right? I have to go get my hair done because the fact of the matter is I'm more likely to get the job. And I hate that that's where we're at. And it's not something where it's like I don't want someone, like I said before, not Black touching my hair. It's just that I have to show up in the role a certain way, right? So I have to go to someone that I know is going to make me look how I need to look to get through life. I'm laughing, but that statement right there is, the beauty school and how you don't even have to really care about textured hair. Sure, that's one of the problems that need to be solved. Sure. But it's going to take some time. But I will say this, like, maybe you're not in the corporate world, maybe you're a creative, maybe you're, entertainer, and you have the luxury of being able to show up as your full self. And so I want to encourage women to certainly do that and go where you're loved, like you said. You know what I'm saying? If that job doesn't want to hire you because you have an afro, maybe that's not the job for you, and because of how I was, because of my age and just my experience with corporate America. And I'm just a little more biased at my beliefs when it comes to how you show up for certain things. However, I would love to be in a place where I feel like I could do a wash and go.
Yeah.
And leave my house and be respected in the same way that I am when I have my hair pressed or when I have long extensions. I don't know that that's true, that I am. I think that the perception is so different depending on where you are. So yeah, but I just want to encourage, young girls, because I think the world is changing for the better, to just show up as your full authentic self, and whatever makes you feel your best, do that, be that, and I can also say, like, I don't know if you've ever had that, like, exfoliation shower, like that one shower. Everybody has that special shower.
Yeah.
Which you don't always do that special shower.
Yeah.
Like today, y'all are special because I shaved like above the knee a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, because you're normally, it ain't even happening at all.
Right.
But like for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So that special exfoliate, you wash your hair, you put the face mask on.
Shower.
The everything shower. That's probably like, I feel my best, right? And my hair is just doing whatever the hell it wants to do. And I don't have no lashes. And my skin just feels, and I'm just in my house. And that's how I should feel every day.
Yes.
Right? And I'm aspiring to that goal right now.
I love that.
I do think some of the hair pieces are changing. So I think one of the things I'm walking away with is like an excitement and also a call to action, right?
Yeah.
So the excitement is, I'm one of those people. I've been watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team since like season 1, and now they have the Netflix America's Sweethearts. And the thing that has changed so much is when they one of the big pieces is like their rookie makeovers. And for the Black girls, they would always like throw them in some extensions. They would always put some weave on them. But what I love now is that you see cheerleaders on the squad who are rocking their natural hair, their their braids and, froze and stuff like that. So when I see something like that in a very, what I consider conservative organization, such as the Dallas Cowboys organization, I'm encouraged. I see people like pushing forward. I do see, I've heard this from a lot of people who do TV. I have a lot of friends who are Black, who have in front of the camera jobs, and they're starting to be able to wear their natural hair and they feel more comfortable with it. Still a lot of places where they can't. So that's my encouragement piece, and my call to action would be, let's speak up. Like I said, we are too grown. And even if you're not grown, we don't have to deal with this shit. We can ask for what we want. We should push for what we want. If there are salons that you want to go to who don't have people who do textured hair, maybe it's a conversation with the salon manager or the owner and say, hey, have you ever considered even like carrying some of these products? Or, do you have anyone who's willing to learn? I really appreciated that Fiorella was like, I wasn't taught this in beauty school, but I also know Fiorella is very talented. And so she's like, I want to learn. Can you, do you want to you want to be my guinea pig? And I'm like, free hair. Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. But the great thing was there was like a great curiosity. And then I felt comfortable saying, yeah, no, you can do this more or whatever. And we had a really good push-pull. Yeah. And I feel like I know a lot of times people are like, I don't have the energy to educate people. But if someone is interested and they truly, genuinely want to learn and grow, expand their businesses as salons, because that's the thing. There's an economic impact here, which we didn't even touch on. It's like, I spent a lot of money. A lot of good hair, right? That was the name of the Chris Rock documentary. We spent a lot of money on hair. And the fact that a lot of places don't want to tap into that is crazy to me. Yeah. And the fact that we're always searching for hairstylists is crazy to me. There's such an opportunity. So I would say, like, my call to action would be, if you're in a town that doesn't necessarily have a lot of textured hairstylists, or if you want something done and it's not currently offered, ask. Because I think more times than less, they're like Fiorella, who's like, I really would like to do this, but I don't know how to take that first step forward, or someone's not willing to, I'm not sure how to approach this. And if you collaborate with someone that you trust, magic can happen. More about that magic.
Yeah. I think I don't think a lot of people even realize what she said about the hair school thing, where they don't even learn or acknowledge textured hair, really. So I think that's super powerful and important for everyone to know, because I think the misconception is that people who aren't Black don't want to do our hair, and I think that Fio is changing the narrative, and that's amazing. And I hope that people just more people speak up and follow suit in that regard as well. So if you are a stylist and you've never done textured hair and you're interested in doing that, I'm sure there are a lot of salon owners and stylists willing to teach. So,
1,000%.
Don't go snatching your Black friends off the street, though. Be like, girl, let me do your hair. Make sure you ask permission. And don't just make an assumption. I love the advice to start with the salon owner.
They're like, I let Barbara do my hair. You guys.
Hey, my mom's name is Barbara.
Sorry. I didn't want to say Kelly, but it was
Kelly, stop. Well, I will say this. I have loved our conversation, and I really hope that other people listening first love the fact that the sound is way better and Jennifer is not doing the edits for the podcast, and also want to engage in this conversation. So blow up our social media. If you disagree with what we said, if you think we're a bunch of bumpkins, whatever, let's hear it. Let's have a conversation about that. We're not scared. So come and talk to us. Or if you've had great hair experiences, or you've done some of the things that we suggested, I'd love to hear more about that. So make sure you go to our Instagram at brasoff_pod, or on TikTok. Or on TikTok at brasoffpod. But join the conversation. Also, we have a community called Bras Off Baddies. And you guys need to come and join the party there, because that's when you join our little email list, join our community. We start doing some things that are just for us. So really excited to talk to everybody. And hey, until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bras Off. Did you love it? If you did, go to brasoffpod.com to join our community of baddies dedicated to bold conversations, dynamic learning, and unforgettable connections. Until next time.